Hey everybody, Ryan here at etrailer.com. Today on our 2018 Ford Edge, we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install the Curt Class 3 2-inch trailer hitch receiver. Now this is what our hitch is going to look like installed. This is going to function great for any accessories or light duty towing even. So if you and your friends want to load up a bike rack to go hit the trails, or maybe even a cargo carrier to bring your family on vacation, you're going to be really happy with how this performs. Now our particular Edge here doesn't have this, but some of our customers wrote in and was wondering if the hitch will work with their tailgate assist, or interfere with it rather. Now when you put this hitch on a model that does have tailgate assist, it will work. However, if it does give you any issues or is finicky, our experts recommend to actually adjust the tailgate or hatch sensor itself. Now in my opinion, where I think this hitch would really shine, or what it would be best for, is something like a bike rack. It's going to give us plenty of clearance. That way we won't have to worry about any contact from our rack to our vehicle. Now if you plan on doing any light duty towing, I would recommend the Takancha T1 vehicle wiring harness. That way your trailer can be set up with working lights. So like I said, this is a Class 3 hitch, so it's going to utilize that 2-inch by 2-inch receiver tube opening. It's also going to have a reinforced collar for extra strength. Now the pinhole is going to be the standard 5/8 size. Now it does not come with a pin and clip, but if you need one, you can find it on etrailer.com. And it's also going to have a plate style safety chain loop openings. They're going to give us plenty of room to use just about any size safety chain hook that you might have. Now as far as the weight capacities go, it's going to have a 600-pound maximum tongue weight rating. So that's going to be the amount of weight pushing down on our hitch. As far as the maximum gross trailer weight rating, that's going to be 4,000 pounds. So the amount of weight pulling on our hitch. So whatever your trailer weighs plus anything you might have on it. Now it is always a good idea to check with your Edge's owner's manual to make sure you can pull that much weight. Now Curt does require the use of a stabilizer strap with all non-trailer loads. If you need one, you can pick one up on etrailer.com. Now I'm going to give you a couple of measurements. These are going to help you when figuring out which hitch mounted accessories to use. From the ground to the top inside edge of the receiver tube opening is about 11.5 inches. You're going to use that measurement to figure out if you need to get a ball mount with either a drop or a rise. From the center of the hitch pinhole to the outside edge of the rear bumper is about 5 inches. You're going to use that measurement to figure out if any folding accessories you might have can be stored in the upright position without making contact with the bumper. Now that we've gone over some of the features, let's install the hitch together. To begin our installation, we're going to remove these plastic underbody panels right behind our rear tire. They're going to be held in place by 4 fasteners. Here, here, and these 2 nuts up here. We're going to remove these with the 5.5mm socket. And these nuts up here, we're going to get off with the 10mm. Just pull it down, out of the way, and set it off to the side. We're going to do that same thing on the other side. Now we can go ahead and lower the exhaust, but before we do that, I like to use a support strap from side to side. That way when we do lower it, we can control how fast it comes down. Now we're going to have 2 rubber isolator hangers that we're going to have to remove. One here, and there will be the exact same setup on the other side of the muffler on the driver's side. To get them off, what I like to do is spray them down with a little bit of penetrating oil, and it makes life a little bit easier. And once you have them sprayed down, you can take a pry bar and pry it off like that. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Now what we're going to do is remove this heat shield behind our back bumper. Here on the edge of the bumper, it's going to be held in place with multiple 5.5mm fasteners. And then here in the center, there's going to be one 10mm nut we're going to have to take off. Once you have everything removed, pull it down and set it off to the side. Now we can work on getting our hardware in place. Well, first I'd like to point out our attachment points that we're going to be using. On the passenger side, we're going to use this hole and this hole. And then on the side, we're going to use this hole that's closest to the rear of the car. Now it's going to be the exact same setup on the driver's side. So we're going to take the coiled end of our fish wire and put it in this hole and push it towards the back of the vehicle. Now it's going to come out of the frame rail right in front of the rear bumper. You're going to have to reach up there a little ways to find it. And what I like to do, this end here with no coil, can actually kind of pinch it down. That way it doesn't fall up into the hole. Now on the coiled end, what we're going to do is take a spacer block, put that on first, and then a carriage bolt, and get that threaded onto the fish wire. Now we can grab our other end. It'll work that hardware into the frame rail. And pull it through like that. Now we're going to use that same exact method for the rest of the holes. Now with an extra set of hands, we can put our hitch into place. We're going to take the ends of our fish wires and put them through the corresponding holes in the hitch itself. Then we can raise it up and over the exhaust. So once all of our hardware is coming through, we can remove one of the fish wires, take a flange nut, and just get it started hand tight. Now we're going to want to get one nut on each side. That way the hitch will support itself while we finish the rest of the hardware. Now with all of our hardware in place and hand tight, we can use a 3/4 inch socket to snug it all down. Now we can use a torque wrench to torque all of our hardware down. You can find that torque specification in your instructions. Now we need to work on trimming up our panels. We're first going to start with the heat shield panel. Now on each side, we're going to cut this little section out here that I marked right in front of the hole. Now this is pretty thin plastic. Now you can just use some tin snips, a rotary tool, or even a sharp knife to get it done. Now since our heat shield panel actually has to slide in under this metal heat shield, and we lost a little bit of room to work with since our hitch is in place, it does make it a little easier to get the plastic heat shield in that we trimmed if you remove these two 10mm nuts. That way we can kind of bend this down and have a little more room to work with. Now we can go ahead and reinstall our panel. Now with our panel in place, we can re-secure it. Now we can go ahead and re-secure our metal heat shield. Now we can trim our underbody panels. Now we're going to do this to each side. I went ahead and marked out where we're going to be trimming, and you can also find the diagram in your instructions. And we go ahead and do the same thing to the other panel. So now we can put our panel back into place. Now we can rehang our exhaust. Just push it up and slide it back into the hanger. Now once that is supported on its own, we can go ahead and remove our strap. And that'll do it for our look at and installation of the Curt Trailer Hitch Receiver on our 2018 Ford Edge.